Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
If you were only there to listen to the previous conversation, that's why this girl's laughing so much.
Okay, so
Face, game face.
Get your game face on. Yeah. Okay. I decided to do a podcast on marriage because, I mean, obviously we're experts.
So let's start off with saying, hey, I'm Aaron, and this is
Anastasia.
And we are here to do a podcast, but we don't have a name for.
No, we don't.
So that's in the works, but we are, against my will, doing this podcast.
Yes.
So take it away.
This is all true. It could be called the Nameless Podcast.
The podcast with no name.
Podcast with no name.
I don't know.
Well, that's when you do your... Oh, that's the wrong one.
That one would work very well.
Not that one. Okay. So I was thinking we could get it started with an intro. Like, let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start.
A lot of this stuff is going to have to get cut out.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Okay. Okay, so I'll go first.
Oh, go ahead. By all means.
Okay. So I'm Anastasia Halcomb. Anastasia Hove Halcomb. And I am living with you, Aaron.
Yes, you are.
In Redding, California. We're married.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
Been married for 14 years now.
Yeah.
I had to do that math earlier because I couldn't remember. Because it's been so long. And what did you say when I was like, oh my gosh, it's been so long?
I feel like it hasn't been very long. That's what I said.
Oh, you're so cute. See, that was a cute thing to say. So yeah, we've been married for 14 years. We're living in Redding, California. Like lots of big changes and transition right now.
So here's a very brief-ish roll up of our life. We were introduced.
You're going to do this now.
Yeah, I'm going to start.
This is great.
We're just going to start rolling into it.
Okay.
We were introduced with each other. Not going to say where, when. I could say where. In Southern California, where we both were raised and grew up for, one of us 30 years and another one not so much 30 years. But
you were not 30 when I met you. Were you 30? No. Okay.
Almost 30 years. Let's say it that way. Anyways, so introduced with each other. Long story with that, which I'm sure we can talk about one of these days. But since then, a lot of things happened. That was in 2008. And we dealt with, like most people have, the financial crisis. And
when we got married was 2008.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, we were introduced in 2007. But in 2008, financial crisis, 2008, housing market collapse, and all that whole fun, joyful time in everybody's lives.
Joy.
We decided to join the military, and that had allowed us to see a lot of this world, at least for me. You, not as much, but still a lot of this world.
Yeah.
So with the military, we moved from, first
California.
Was Texas to Alaska, to Hawaii, to Alabama, to Texas again, and then to South Korea. So that's 6. So we had 6 definitive household move with family, with our family, our kids and stuff, meeting new people, new friends and everything in the 12 years of military life. So if you average that out, that's every couple of years we're moving. So when we say that we've gone through a lot of different things, that's just one of the many, I would say.
Yeah. And then like career changes for me, or starting up businesses, being a serial entrepreneur, and then also losing babies.
Yeah.
We have had 4 miscarriages, and we have 5 kids together that I have physically given birth to, and then we have 6 kids in total, because I say I inherited our oldest when Aaron and I got married.
And let's be honest, she is our kid,
Oh,
but she
of
is
course.
definitely not a child anymore.
No,
she's 19
not.
years old, and
she's 19.
Definitely.
She's gonna be 20.
I know, it's crazy.
Gosh.
Anyways, you guys can see who the expert of this whole podcasting thing is, because look at these fancy headphones, and then I get the ones that come with your phone. So,
but it's a podcast,
and we're also sharing a microphone, so that's going to be very interesting. It's a good thing we love each other.
We're really close.
We got to get close.
In my studio here, which I don't know if I can call it my studio anymore, but originally we set it up as my studio.
Look at these.
Yep.
It's your studio.
I put some blue lights back there for you.
But you also like teal.
That's true. I like all the colors. But we're in a closet under our stairs because, oh, you didn't talk about that. So we moved to...
So we left South Korea, yeah.
Yeah.
And we moved to Northern California, Redding, specifically California.
Where we said we would never again live in California.
Once we left California in 2010, we basically swore to each of
2009.
ourselves.
We left California in 2009.
No, we were still in California. I didn't join until February of 2010.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, since 2010, we swore we would, to each other and to ourselves, I suppose, and probably to God, that we would never come back to California.
Yeah.
Not because we didn't know anything about anything, but we just have experienced a lot of time in Southern California. So we were like, yeah, we don't need to be here. There's a lot of things that we don't live by, agree with, I guess you can say, or like about certain things of California. There's a lot of amazing and wonderful things about California, but the good and bad kind of were not equal, and the bad was outweighing the good, I think.
The pros and cons.
Yeah. So we decided, like, we're never going to move back, but then of course God has the upper hand with everything and decided to bring us back to, at least he gave us Northern California instead of Southern California. Although Southern California, man, this is going to sound really
Southern California is beautiful.
It is. There's a lot of great things. We have a lot of family down there and everything.
We just can't afford Southern California with 6 kids, 2 dogs, and this guy recently unemployed, but he's reemployed.
Reemployed?
He's reemployed now.
Reployed?
Reemployed.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. You have a job now. Mm-hmm. It was a little touch and go there for a while.
Not really.
We were
I always had a job. It's the pay check was touch and go. We didn't have a paycheck from my side of the house for a little while. So
That's true.
We're still suffering the consequence, not the consequence, the results of that. So
yeah.
This is a lot of just fantastic banter, I'm sure, that everybody wants to hear.
It's great. Yeah. I love it. I just love spending time with you.
Well, we don't have to be on a camera and a mic.
Well, it's the Enneagram 3 achiever in me where I'm like, but there should be like a purpose and a point.
And what was my Enneagram again?
You're a 9.
And what does that mean to the people that don't know what Enneagram?
So a 9, I think 9s are the loyalist. Or are you a 6?
I guess I should take that test again.
You should take that test again.
It's the one that doesn't want to be put out there.
It's the one that is. It's the one that will get on a camera, go live, record a podcast all against their will, but still do a fabulous job at it because you love your wife so much, your spouse so much. Because, like, maybe it's with a lot of people's opposites. Like, the guy is, ooh, sorry about that. That was my honka ring. There we go. That was my ring.
And yes, it's real. It's a real ring.
It's a real ring. People love asking that question. We could talk about that one of these days.
There's so many stories.
I know. It's going to be so fun.
So that's why I said we should call it like Our Story or something. Yeah. Something clever with that. Because it's not always going to be, because we're not like in a position to give advice per se to not like clinical.
We're not
This
professionals.
is the way you do it to succeed, because we're still trying to figure stuff out all the time. So it's just one of those, like, it's going to be a lot of stories, I think, right? This podcast, so. Against My Will. Yeah, maybe I should just call it that, Against His Will.
Against His Will. A modern day marriage. Okay.
All right.
That's good. I think we found the name. Yay.
I don't know about that. Work in progress. Whoever's listening, which is probably
that would be a good name too.
Probably
a work in progress marriage. Okay, so we're here now, right? So we bought a house like at the top of the market. You know, when it's like the wise, smart thing to do is to wait until like the market like comes down significantly. But we were like,
buy low, sell high.
Yeah. We were like, why don't we buy high? Like really high, like probably one of the highest it's ever been. And then we'll figure the rest out. But actually, it really wasn't up to us. It really was up to God.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have, we had choice. We had choice.
There's always choices. Yeah.
We didn't, we kind of like were not forced. We kind of were coerced. That's still not a good word. We were kind of
why don't you just tell like what happened?
Pushed. No,
yeah.
All those are just aggressive words.
They are aggressive.
We were just kind of led into this house.
We were led into this house. It also, like, I said yes to this house. I mean, and you were still in South Korea.
Yeah. Because
you were getting out of the military, and I was in California being led by God with our kids and had no place to live.
Which is the crazy part, right? Because in the military, you have maybe like a small percentage of choice of where you want to live.
Yeah.
And it may come true, it may not. It usually comes down to the needs of the military. But typically, you're moving 2, 3, 4 years at a time, every 2, 3, or 4 years, as well as you tell them where you kind of want to go, but depends on your job and a lot of other things, whether you're going to be able to do that or not. So getting out of the military, we had like basically a blank canvas of where we wanted to live.
Yeah.
We could go anywhere we wanted.
Anywhere.
And we had all of these grand ideas of this place and that place. And every time somebody asked me when we were getting out, I was like, oh, where are you guys going to move to? And it's like, oh, we're going to go here. Then like 3 weeks later, it was, okay, might go here now. Okay, now 3 weeks later. Because it kind of boils down to, where you're going to find a job.
Yeah.
My job was all the way up in the air at the time. And then we're also
and your job's literally
up in
like
the air.
You fly in the air. That was hysterical. You need to that one. That was so good. Okay.
And also like, God and family, where do we want to be? We don't want to be like, living in Maine when all of our family lives in, I don't know, LA
California.
Or something, we want to be at least somewhere close to where some of our family lives.
Yeah.
So that was kind of good thing is we have family spread throughout the country. So we were kind of able to choose a lot of different places that we were thinking about going to. But then again, we were led to Northern California.
The plan was always though, like Nashville. Like that was Ariana. We can talk about that for a second. Like Ariana's middle name is Nashville. Yeah. Because it was our plan. That was like a promise we made to each other, like someday you'll get out of the military and we'll be able to afford
someday
rent.
Can still be someday, because I am out of the military and someday we could still move
of course
that part of the world.
But for now we're putting down some roots in Redding, California.
We definitely we're called here. And we understand that. And there's certain days where we're like,
really?
But
here?
Why? Why are we here? We've only been here for almost 6 months now. So
no way, really? You came in, we moved in end of August.
5 months.
Okay.
Coming up on 5 months. Sorry.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's us.
No, we're not done yet. We're not done. I know you. Wow. Okay. Thanks for that, honey. So yeah. So we're in California and we bought a house. You got out of the military. You moved here to this house that you had never seen. And thank God you got a job with the airlines because you're kind of like super cool. You're like Superman. You fly.
Oy vey.
Oy vey.
Where's the wah-wah? I won't do it. But...
Don't do it again. And then we have all of these kids and we're like, are we doing the right thing? Like, are we I think we feel like we're in the place we're supposed to be because there's so many like signs. Okay, so the plan was always Nashville.
Yep.
Okay. Never California. And before, got to back it up a little bit, because before that even happened, we were thinking Connecticut because I had applied to Yale that special program for like and then I like got into Yale but didn't get into the program. So then you don't get in. It's really sad. Everyone was really excited about it.
Hence the laughter.
You gotta laugh at those things.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
And so we were really excited. Like we had watched so many YouTube videos on Connecticut and like great places to eat. And we were so excited to go to New York, and we'd never lived on the East Coast before. So that was like, oh, like when I got that email saying I had not gotten into that program, it was like, oh, yeah.
The furthest east that we have lived was Alabama, the east part of Alabama. So kind of one of the things that we were thinking about doing was either moving to like Florida or somewhere. I mean, we even talked about North and South Carolina and Georgia, and kind of just worked all the way up. New York wasn't really a thing because, again, expensive to live there.
It was like every time we started looking at a place, it was right before the market like went crazy in that area.
Oh, no, we were looking in Florida and Tennessee and Connecticut and the Carolina. Like weeks later, the prices would just keep going up. It was crazy. And up. And those certain areas, especially around Nashville, were and southern part of Florida were just like insane. It was on the market for 24 hours, and it's like a bidding war, and we didn't have that kind of favor
or cash
with God. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways,
so yeah, and then but we were checking to see like all the things on YouTube, like, and so the kids were really, really excited. So I was really nervous about telling the kids, like, we think God's taking us to California.
Exact opposite coast.
Like, yeah, and we like literally had told our kids we will never live in California. Yeah. Like, of all the like we'll just never live there.
And they were fine with that because they've seen a lot of this country, and they were like, okay, that's fine. They were excited for the west or the East Coast part of it too, of being close to New York and just taking a a train ride down to New York, Manhattan and stuff, and being able to see part of the country that they've never seen before. And granted, we've never seen Connecticut. We've been to New York, but
and all the history there. Like
Boston and everything.
So cool.
Anyways, we delved excited on this.
So we definitely have gone into that. So it was all of that, and then it ended up being California, and then it was amazing because the kids actually then were really excited. Like I don't know, it was almost like their heart changed, and that really helped. At least it helped me, like my mama heart. To be like, okay, this is something where their hearts have changed. They're excited about it. And, but we still live like 8 hours without stops from the closest family member. So I still have siblings that live in California.
Immediate family members, because we have people live in San Francisco that, you know,
okay, like
only
your
a couple
cousins
hours away. Yeah, but like immediate, like brothers and sisters kind of.
Yeah, that's
or fathers and
that's more what I mean.
Lions and tigers and bears kind of a thing.
Oh my! All right, so then all of that to say, I don't know how. So how do I bring that back? So then I was like, "Hey, babe, you're out of the military. You got a job," but he's like around a lot. It's actually been really fun because all 5 of our kids now. Okay, so Katie's like 19 and she, is living her life, doing her stuff, has a job and all that jazz. And then the 5 are in school right now. Like this is the first time in our life that we've ever experienced this. And we're both home. So I was like, let's do a marriage podcast.
Why?
You love
why?
me. Yeah.
Why?
So I was like, let's do a marriage podcast. And Aaron was like, let's not. And I'm really excited though. And I told him that. I'm currently excited. And I was excited.
I was saying let's not about an hour ago.
He was literally going, he goes, like, did you just wake up today and was like, we're starting the podcast today? And I was like, pretty much.
No warning.
Yeah.
Welcome to my life.
Welcome to my life. Yeah. So I didn't go off on that. So here we are doing a marriage podcast. We're not experts. We can talk about all the things we're not. We have some opinions on marriage, though, for sure, and perspectives
and experiences that would lead us to being able to say things that work for us and didn't work for us.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that's going to work for everybody, but
yeah,
it's definitely like an opinion.
Yeah.
An experienced opinion. What do they call that?
Perspective.
Hypothesis? No, that's an educated guess. So it's not a hypothesis.
It's not a hypothesis. Our hypothesis on marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And also like you were saying, we've kind of gone through a lot of the big things like cancer and losing babies and moving and having no money and filing bankruptcy and like buying houses, selling houses, like just kind of the things you go through in life and in marriage.
Yeah.
So
and
all of still being married
is cloaked in trust of each other and trust of God, and the ultimate trust. No, I shouldn't say the ultimate. I can't even think of the word, but just a astounding amount of trust in God is from last year, which is another podcast story in itself. When we traveled from South Korea with us and all of our children, and really shortly saying it, flew in without any plans, no hotel room, no vehicle, anything, drove across the country
for
Katie's
her graduation.
Drove back, still, again, never had a plan for a car or flights or anything of the sorts. Wow, I need to talk really close then.
I know.
And so trusting God that he was going to take care of us. So we flew in and did all that and came back up to, basically drove across the country twice in a matter of 2 weeks, and well, maybe 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then flew back out to South Korea.
Yeah.
So that was a whole nother story in which we can get into the intricacies and the crud that we had to deal with and the faith that we had in God for that.
Yeah, I think that's maybe if like we could do a little takeaway of like, a secret sauce that we have discovered through trial and error, much trial and error, is like we will put all of our eggs in the God basket. Like we have so much faith that he'll just take care of us, that we do things that probably sound and seem really crazy.
Oh, it's definitely crazy. 100%.
To a lot of people.
We have a plethora of stories of us trusting God with putting
crazy
all of our eggs in a basket, to use your analogy there or example, where we're putting all of our eggs in a basket and the best thing that could happen hatches every time.
Yeah.
So
true.
There's just a lot of stories like that, which
we'll share this
eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
If he still does a podcast.
If I still want to do this. I'm not convinced.
It's going to be great. You'll have to let him know. Just like, write in, send us a message, email, snail mail, whatever, and just be like, Aaron, we want you to do a marriage podcast with Anastasia.
We're not giving out our address, so snail mail's not going to work on that one. Sorry.
It's true. It's true. But like, do you want to talk about
anything?
Baby, let's talk about you and me. Do you know what I omitted from that?
I do, and that's not an explicit word, so you're okay.
It's not an explicit word?
I don't know. It might be a trigger word for certain people nowadays.
Okay, you can't listen to this podcast, though, around your kids. Like, we're going to say that much about the podcast. I think someone literally was just calling you.
Even though it's on focus or whatever you want to call it, like do not disturb.
That's weird. But yeah, we're going to talk about all those things. We're going to talk about the 5 F's of marriage.
There's way more than 5. I'm sure of it.
So I'm just going to tell you guys, because I'm really proud of myself with how clever I was. I was like, we're going to talk about finances. We're going to talk about forking. You see, you guys might be thinking something, but what I was talking about when I said forking was food. See, food, forking, what you would fork with. So food. And then the other F word that, like,
which one it is
that you know of, the actual like one, because it's one of my favorite topics. We have to talk about it. He's thrilled. But we are going to talk about that because it's one of the fundamental things of marriage.
Those aren't the F's you're talking about.
No, they weren't. Family. What was the other one?
So it was freedom of.
That's right. Freedom.
Talking and communication, like openness.
Freedom communication, yes.
Between each other. And
yep. And forking.
So.
And finances.
Yep, that's 3.
And the F word.
And then there was one more.
Family. That's 5.
Oh, yeah, that was family, yeah.
5. There we go. Okay.
But that's not going to be the name of our podcast.
That's not going to be the name of the podcast. We still don't know what the name is. But we will know, because that's when we release it. You have to know a name. Okay. Which means they're going to know when they're hearing this what the name is.
Oh, that's true. I was just about to say, like, let us know what you think the name should be, but
you have to have a name.
We have to have a name before you can.
That's a fundamental thing with a podcast. It's foundational. Kind of like sex in marriage. Yeah. But not like, this is not for you to listen to with your kids. This is,
well, certain episodes probably more so than others.
Let's just,
if we go further than this.
I don't want to be held responsible. So like, just don't do it. Like, this is, you're in the shower, you're in the gym, you're taking a walk, get your earbuds in, you're driving in the car, but kids have their earbuds in.
Trying to go to sleep because this is so boring.
You're so mean. It's not boring. Okay, so that's the intro. I think we kind of. Oh, so then did I ever talk about?
No, we never did.
What I do? Did you ever talk about what you do?
No, let's leave that for the next time.
That was the whole point of the intro.
I know, but we talked about a lot of things in the intro, which should be.
We did. Those were not even things we were going to talk about.
No, but that's kind of how things go sometimes. Got to roll with the punches, baby.
Okay, so I'm Anastasia Halcomb.
And I'm Aaron Halcomb.
And we started a marriage podcast, and I'm excited about it. He is not. We have 5 kids. We live in Northern California, recently bought a home, and we talk about real things.
And I'm a pilot, and she's a serial entrepreneur.
I'm writing a book. I have another podcast called The Bold and Unafraid. It's a great one.
Yes.
And yeah, so let's see how this goes. I'm excited. Do you feel more excited now?
No.
You just okay. So we're gonna sign off. We don't know what we don't know what to say. We're signing off now. Do you have anything? You've got a lot of wisdom.
That's a lot of pressure, though. I don't do good under
like
wisdom pressure.
Wisdom pressure. Okay, you think about it. He's gonna think about it. Sleep on it. as in like between now and the next. See, there it goes.
No,
I just had to talk.
My eyes were closed, like I was trying to think about it right now. But you don't want me thinking about it right now. That's what you're trying to say.
No, you can think about it, but you didn't want to be put on the spot. So I was saying, so next time we will leave it where Aaron gives you like nugget of wisdom.
We're not going to do that.
It's going to be so good.
That's
you guys are going to love it. And also, I'm going to say this is a podcast that you can listen to with your spouse. I think it'd be more fun because you could both like relate to the male female side of things, the like her perspective, his perspective, because there's always that, right? And ladies, we know we're always right. It's okay. They come around to it, but you should know the crickets one.
I don't know which one that is. We have to label.
I think it's this one. Oh,
see, gotta label them.
That. Nope.
Bottom one. Down.
Does it stop or it just keeps going? Okay.
Well, thank you guys for listening to this exhilarating introduction to our life and experiences,
marriage,
and how we kind of interact on a microphone with each other.
We're going to also get 2 microphones.
Yeah, because this is weird.
You don't like being this close
to me? I love being this close to you, but I can't get much closer without pushing you away, and I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it's real tight in here, you know? You got some broad shoulders. You're a big guy. Oh, yeah, you were going to say something like, I'm over 6 foot. I can fly jets.
No, I can't. No,
and
let's not go there.
I make a mean red sauce.
What? I don't know either.
It was all of a sudden like you're on a dating profile.
Oh.
Aren't you glad we don't have to deal with that?
Jeez.
Gosh, that's gonna suck.
Sorry. Sorry if you're dealing with that.
We're so sorry. Like, yeah. Maybe we should even interview like other couples. It might be kind of fun.
We need a bunch more mics than this. We're not all huddled around one microphone. That's for dang sure.
We could do it through like call-ins or whatever, video conferencing. Anyways, we're going to sign this off. Aaron and Anastasia, we're the A-team.
Bye.
Bye. Bless you guys. And end recording.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Hit it.
Did it end?
Hit it.
So let us dance this night away.